You've probably been told your whole life that kindness is a virtue, that being nice, generous, empathetic, and selfless is the right way to live. And to be fair, that's not entirely wrong. Kindness can be beautiful. Kindness can be powerful. But here's the part they don't tell you: sometimes, kindness is a trap. A slow, subtle, well-intentioned trap that starts off feeling good but eventually leaves you drained, invisible, and questioning your entire sense of self. Because being too kind, too agreeable, too accommodating, too soft, can actually ruin your life. And no, that's not me being dramatic. That's me telling you something you already feel deep down, especially if you've been that nice person for too long. The person who says yes when you want to say no. The one who helps even when you're hurting. The one who gets walked over, not because you're weak, but because you're kind, and people take advantage of that. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how kindness, when unchecked, when unguarded, when given without boundaries, can destroy your relationships, your confidence, your goals, and your identity. Here are the 8 brutal ways how kindness will ruin your life, and what you can do to stop it before it's too late. 1. You become a magnet for takers and manipulators. Here's the thing no one wants to say out loud: when you're kind to a fault, you attract the worst kind of people. Not always. But often enough. Because kindness without discernment is like an open wallet left on the sidewalk. Sooner or later, someone's gonna pick it up and run. And the sad truth is, some people make it their mission to seek out kind-hearted people just so they can exploit them. You know the type. The friend who always needs help moving but vanishes when you need support. The coworker who dumps their workload on you because you don't mind. The partner who takes and takes and takes until you're left wondering why you feel so emotionally empty all the time. Kindness, in its pure form, is a gift. But when you hand out that gift to everyone without checking who they are, what they want, or whether they deserve it, you're setting yourself up for disappointment, resentment, and heartbreak. Because takers don't have limits. You have to be the one to create them. 2. You lose touch with your own needs. When you make it a habit to always put others first, eventually, you forget what you need. You get so used to checking in on everyone else: are they okay? Do they need anything? Can I help? That you stop asking those same questions to yourself. And the dangerous part is, this doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow fade. You give up a weekend to help a friend. You skip your workout to comfort someone going through a breakup. You say yes to a favor at work even though you're swamped. One day you wake up and you don't even recognize your own routine. Your needs are buried under everyone else's. And worst of all, you think that's normal. But let me tell you something: it's not noble to abandon yourself for others. It's not healthy to ignore your own exhaustion, your own pain, your own boundaries just to be nice. Self-neglect isn't kindness. It's self-destruction with a polite smile. 3. You teach people how to treat you poorly. Every time you say yes when you really want to say no, every time you tolerate disrespect to keep the peace, every time you bite your tongue instead of standing up for yourself, you're teaching people something. You're showing them that you don't need to be respected, that your boundaries don't matter, that you're okay being last on the priority list. And people learn fast. They learn that you won't speak up, that you'll always forgive, that they can cross the line and you'll just quietly redraw it a few feet back. They might not even be doing it maliciously. But they are doing it because you're allowing it. Kindness should never mean shrinking yourself so others can shine. That's not compassion, that's self-erasure. You can be kind and strong. But not if you keep teaching people that you're okay being treated like an afterthought. 4. You become afraid of conflict, and that kills everything. Nobody likes conflict. But when you're overly kind, conflict starts to feel like a moral failure. You tell yourself that arguing is bad, that pushing back is aggressive, that standing up for yourself is selfish. So you avoid it. You avoid it so much that you stop expressing your real thoughts, your real feelings, your real identity. You nod when you disagree. You smile when you're hurt. You say, "It's fine," when it's anything but. But guess what? Conflict is not the enemy. Dishonesty is. When you run from conflict, you also run from authenticity. Your relationships become fake, shallow, one-sided. People think you're easygoing and agreeable, but really, they don't know you, because you've never let them see the real you. Kindness that avoids conflict isn't kindness. It's fear in disguise. And over time, that fear will eat you alive. 5. You burn out, quietly, completely. Burnout doesn't always come from overwork. Sometimes, it comes from overgiving. You pour and pour and pour into others, your time, your energy, your care, until one day, you have absolutely nothing left. Not because you're lazy. Not because you're weak. But because you gave everything you had, and no one noticed you were running on fumes. And what's worse? People keep asking for more. Because you made it look easy. You smiled while doing it. You didn't complain. You didn't ask for help. And now, you're exhausted, anxious, maybe even resentful, but still pushing through, still trying to be kind, still pretending you're okay. But you're not. And if you don't stop and start choosing yourself, burnout will break you in ways you won't see coming. It will hollow you out emotionally. It'll make you bitter. It'll leave you numb. And no one will understand how or why, because you were so nice. 6. You start living for other people's approval. This one's sneaky. Because when you're kind, people praise you. They say things like, "You're so thoughtful, you're always there for me, you're such a good person." And that feels good, right? Of course it does. It's human to want to be liked, to be appreciated, to be seen as generous. But here's the trap, you start relying on that praise. You start defining your worth by how others see you. You start making choices, not based on what's best for you, but on what will make people like you more. And slowly, you become a version of yourself curated for approval. And you lose touch with your true self. Kindness becomes performance. You say what people want to hear. You do what makes you look good. But inside, you feel fake. You feel hollow. You start resenting the people whose validation you crave, and resenting yourself even more for needing it. Kindness is only real when it's authentic. Not when it's currency for applause. 7. You sabotage your own ambitions. Sometimes being kind means sacrificing, and that's not always bad. But when sacrifice becomes a pattern, a default, a way of life, you start giving up on your own goals, your own dreams, your own growth, all in the name of being helpful, generous, supportive. You turn down opportunities because someone else might need you. You skip that class, that job, that trip, because it would be selfish to pursue it. You let your dreams die quietly so someone else can live more comfortably. But here's what no one tells you, your dreams matter too. Your ambition is not a threat to anyone. And shrinking your life for someone else's comfort is not kindness, it's surrender. Kindness should lift everyone, including you. 8. You forget who you are. This is the most heartbreaking part. When kindness goes too far, you lose sight of who you really are. You become who everyone else needs you to be. The helper. The fixer. The peacekeeper. The emotional crutch. And in the process, you forget what you love, what you believe, what makes you come alive. You forget your fire. You forget that you're not just a support system, you're a whole, complex, powerful person. With needs. With dreams. With a voice. And here's the truth, your life is not a public service announcement. You're not here to please everyone. You're not here to be liked by all. You're here to live fully, honestly, and unapologetically. And if your kindness is costing you that, then it's time to draw the line. Kindness isn't the enemy. But when it goes unchecked, when it's given blindly, when it replaces your boundaries, your voice, your identity, it becomes dangerous. You can still be kind. You should be kind. But you must be kind to yourself first. Because the world doesn't need more burnt-out people-pleasers. It needs bold, honest, kind people who know how to say no, how to walk away, and how to choose themselves when no one else will. So if you've been losing yourself in the name of being nice, let this be your wake-up call. Kindness shouldn't ruin your life. And if it is, it's time to take it back.